Good morning to all of you students, and today we will start Unit 3. In Unit 3, what we have discussed in uh, lecture, I think second or third, we have discussed so many types of control statements or control structures. Okay, in this lecture, we will discuss each and every decision constructs in detail. Okay, if you are familiar or I can say that if you recall the lecture second and third, you will find that everything we have already discussed for this particular lecture. In this complete unit 3, that is name of the unit is flow control. In this particular unit, each and everything we have already discussed. Earlier we have already discussed even each and everything that we are going to discuss in this particular unit. Okay, but here we will use all those concepts with the help of examples. Okay, but again I am telling you, you will use all of those concepts in your lab. Here in this particular lecture, I am again going to tell you how you will use those decision constructs, or you can say that those control statements or control structures into your program. Okay, this is all about the unit third, that is flow control. First of all, this is our outline, or you can say that our agenda. I have covered all of these activities into this particular slide. This is your complete unit 3. It depends upon you how much practice you can do for these activities. Any kind of process automation you will do in near future, you will use all these types of activities. So uh, it's my humble suggestion to all of you that listen it very carefully, that this particular lecture will be more interesting because you have already discussed these things in earlier lecture. Okay, and you all are familiar with the control statements or the decision statements. If statements, else statements, if else statements, switch statements. Again telling you, you in C, C++ or Java, you say that you said that if statement, else statements, loops, control statements, control stacks. Here you will call it as the activities. If not if statement, that will be the here it you can call it as the if activity. Switch statement, no, you will call it as the switch activity, like that. Okay. First of all, we will discuss the control flow. First of all, we'll discuss the introduction, if else statements, loop, advanced control flow. Second one is sequence, flowcharts, and control flow activities. Okay, sequence, flowcharts. You all are familiar with the concept of what is sequence, what is flowcharts. I have already told you. There are the three main layouts in UiPath Studio. First one is your sequence, where you can use the simple programs, where you can use the simple problems. For moderate or complex problems, you can use the flowchart, or more complex problems or a large problems, you can use the state machines. Okay, and control flow activities are again assign activity, delay activity, do while activity, for each activity, and break activity. If statements, else statements, if else statements, or you can say that over here is the activities or the switch activities we have already mentioned in point 1 control flow. Okay, this is the agenda for our complete third unit, right? Next is first of all, we will discuss what is control flow. Following are the type of decisions we can implement in a workflow. What is workflow? On the basis of the condition which branch is to be executed, or on the basis of what we will do. This is the concept of workflow, right? First First of all, we will discuss if activity. If activity is used to check for a particular condition or expression. We have already discussed in previous lecture. I think the same slides, the content may be differ, but the things are same. If activity is used to check for a particular condition or expression. If that expression or the condition is satisfied, then block will be executed, else otherwise else block will be executed. This is all about the if activity. If you can say that control flow, what is control flow? Means if the condition is satisfied, then block will be executed, otherwise else block will be executed. This is all about the control flow. In UiPath workflow, you can search if activity from activity panel and add it by drag and drop. Multiple times I have told you. Basically, the if activity splits a sequence vertically and best suited for short linear branches. Okay, this is the if activity that you can use in UiPath. This is the same slides I have used over here also for if activity. Same thing we have already discussed in previous lecture. Here flowchart is to be taken. Input dialog. Input dialogs means, for example, enter the number. Simply you can write over here input dialog, double click to view. When you will double click over here, the another window will open like this, second window, but it is not just like this. I just wants to try to understand to you people that while you will double click over here and separate window will open and you can write over there, for example, input a number, and next input dialog, when you will double click over here, again a separate window will be opened. You will write the next statement. Okay, for example, you are having the two statements. You have already make a program in C that whether the which number is greater than out of 2 or out of 3, which one is greater. You can apply the condition. For example, you are having the two numbers and simply test whether the number A is greater than number B. You simply write if A is greater than B. Simply printf A is greater, else B is greater. Okay, here is the input dialogs. For example, enter the number A. Yeah, you can say that A equal to 50. Input B equal to 60. And this is what the if statement. When you will double click this if statement, this window will be opened. And you can provide the condition in this if x plus y is less than 6. For example, you can understand like this input dialog x. You have mentioned x equal to 3 and y equal to 4. Here is x plus y means 3 plus 4, 7. 7 is less than 6. Is 7 is less than 6? No, na. That means else part will be executed. Else part means right line you have already texted as a false. You knew it. 7 is less than 6. It is false. Means else part will be executed. Otherwise, if part will then part will be executed where it is to be written as true. This is all about the if activity. Now, in previous lecture also, I have also mentioned that thing. How much practice you can do, it depends upon you. Okay, if you will do more practice, your concept will be more clear. This is all about the if activity. Okay, next is switch activity. I have already told you in previous lecture that when you are having a multiple choices, more than two choices, more than, you can say that more than two or more, three or more than three choices. Okay, so you can use the switch activities. The process is same. You will simply drag and drop the switch activity from the activity panel to the workflow, or you can say that the designer panel. Okay, switch activity can be used to make a choice. When we have various options available and want to execute one option, we frequently use the switch activity. You can search for switch activity from activity panel and drag and drop into the workflow design. Switch activity by default use an integer argument. In previous lecture, I have already told you switch activity by default uses an integer argument. You can change that integer argument into, you can change it as an object, as a string, as a boolean, or etc. etc. from the property panel under type argument list as shown in the screenshot, and screenshot will be like this. This is what the sequence is. Enter dialog, enter any number. The number is, you have not mentioned any number. Okay, the number is only this one. Okay, next switch k mode to. Default case means 1. Right line is text k dot toString is an odd number. Okay, this is the same as that of the previous one. If you are having the multiple options or you are having the multiple choices, in that case you can use the switch option. Okay, on the basis of the case, on the basis of the number what you want to execute, you can use the case number. Okay, by default it takes as a string, but you can change that string to, you can say that boolean, you can say that any kind of data type. Okay, this is all about the switch activity. Next activity is, that is sequence and flowchart. Okay, what is sequence and what is flowchart? You can simply say that sequence is a kind of, or you can say that where your instructions are to be executed sequentially. In layman language you can say that. Otherwise a sequence is used only when we have selected a straightforward set of instructions on how to create a workflow. That is, we do not have to make decisions. Where we can't make decisions, you can simply use the sequence. Okay, you simply write the sequence. No need to take the, for example, you are having the simple set of instructions. In that case, no need to take the flow charts or the decision table or the finite state machine or the state machine. You simply take the sequence. Okay, mostly used layout design in UiPath workflow design is sequence. Okay, mostly used layout diagram in UiPath workflow design is sequence. What is sequence? Again I am telling you, is a simple linear representation that generally flow from top to bottom and tell the order in which commands are to be executed. That is what I was told you. Earlier I told you that in sequence, in layman language, I am telling you, I told you in 2 minutes before that in layman language you can say that what is sequence, where the instructions are to be executed sequentially. This is what the same thing. The order in which the commands are to be executed, that is what is known as the sequence. In the flowcharts, we have already discussed the flowchart. Flowchart is a, you can say that, graphical representation of a process. It is the graphical representation of a process in which each step is represented by different symbols and connected with the arrows. Okay, flowchart is one of the best among the 3-layer diagram of UiPath workflow because it is flexible and tend to lay out a workflow in 2-dimensional manner that can showcase decision points within a process very efficiently owing to the visual appeal. Okay, this is what the flowchart is. How we can comment? I have already told you the shortcut key of the comment. Okay, you can recall the shortcut keys over here. This is all about the sequence and flowchart. Next, again the activity started, assign and delay activity. Assign activity is used to design a value to a variable. I have already told you what is assign activity. You simply say that you have a variable a of integer type. How you can assign the value? You simply write int a equal to, for example, 50. Then 50 is what? That is the assigned value to the integer variable. So here what is assign activity is used to designate a value to the variable. You simply designate a value, that is I am telling you a equal to 50. Int a equal to 50 means a is of integer type and having the value 50. That is what the assignment statement. The assign activity can be used for different purposes such as incrementing the value of a variable in a loop. You are using incrementing and decrementing operator, na? Increment and decrement. For example, you are using the for loop. In here, you can call it as the for each loop, for each activity. In for loop, what you did, you simply initialize the variable. For example, int I equal to 0, then provide the condition I is less than 10, then provide the increment or decrement operator. In the same way, you can say that the assign activity can be used for different purposes, such as incrementing the value of a variable in a loop, or using the result of a sum or a difference or multiplication or division of a variables and assigning it to the another variable. This is what the assignment activity is. Next activity is delay activity. I have already told you in previous lecture that delay means if you want to insert a delay between the two activities, or for example you are having a workflow but you want to slow down the activity, or you want to slow down the process of automation, or you want at a particular moment of time you want to introduce a you can say that pause for a bit of time, for a particular interval of time. In that case, you can introduce the delay activity in your workflow. As the name suggests, it used to delay or slow down an automation by pausing it for a definite period of time. What is defined period of time? What is that defined period of time? The workflow continue after the specific period of time, and the format of that time is HHMM and SS, hours, minutes and seconds. This activity play a very significant role when we need a waiting period during a particular activity. Perhaps say a waiting period requires for a particular application. Okay, this is what the delay activity is. How we can insert the delay? For example, your flowchart has already been taken. Then write line activity, hey, what is your name? And after that, delay is to be introduced. After the delay, how much amount of that particular delay will be? You will define the delay into the property panel. When you will click onto the delay, okay, this is the that you have already drag and drop this delay into the designer area. When you will click delay, when you will click over here, you can set the delay into the property panel. How much amount of time you want to delay within the particular process, that particular time is to be introduced, or that is to be included into the, or it is to be set into the property panel. And then write line, my name is Andrew NG. Okay, that means it's a kind of conversation. Hey, what is your name? After a particular pause or that particular delay, the second person tell, hey, my name is Andrew NG. Okay, this is all about the delay activity. Next is do while activity. We have already discussed do while and while activities. Do while is the thing where first of all your program will be executed, then after condition will be checked. If the condition is not fulfilled, it will exit from the loop. This is the do while activity. Do while activity is used in automation when it is required to execute a statement based on the fulfillment of a certain condition. How it is different from the while activity? I have already told you. In while activity, first of all, condition will be checked. But in do while activity, program will be executed once whether the condition will be true or not. Okay. Here it is to be differ from the while is that it executes a statements, then check whether the condition is fulfilled. If the condition is not fulfilled, it exits the loop. This is the only difference between the while and do while loop. Okay, this is the do while activity. You can see the sequence over here. This is the snapshot of do while activity. Is there is any sequence? Assign the value y equal to y plus 2, then write line y. Whatsoever the value of y will be, you can write over here. After that, condition will be checked. Whether y is less than 20, it is not mandatory that what will be the value of y. For example, the value of y is equal to already 20. But here y plus 2, now the value of y is equal to 22. You have apply the write line activity. You have already mentioned 22, but the condition is 22 is less than 20. It is false. But you have already implemented the write line. Condition is false, but you have already implemented one time. Okay, so this is the do while activity. Next is while activity. Already told you that this is the automation to execute a statement or process based on a certain condition. If the condition found true, a loop will be executed. That is, process is executed repeatedly until or unless your condition will be false. As and when the condition is being false, your control will exit the loop. Okay, that means you can say that project only exit from the loop when the condition does not hold true. This activity is useful while iterating through an array of elements. This is the while activity. And now you can see that this is the difference between the while and do while. As you can see into the snapshots, you can see that while we have talked about the do while loop. First of all, what will be there? Assign activity x y equal to y plus 2, then right line activity, and then condition will be applied. Now here, first of all, you will have mentioned the condition. What condition is? Whether x is less than 50. Then check x equal to x plus 5. Then x plus x dot toString. First of all, the value of x will be checked. Is x is less than 50? If x is not less than 50, for example, if for example here x value of x is equal to 45. Now what is that? 45 is less than 50, definitely. Then it will execute x equal to x plus 5. Now the value of x equal to 50. Then x dot toString, it will mention the 50. But again, condition is now the value of x is equal to 55. Again, that particular condition will false and it will exit from the loop. This is all about the difference between the while and do while activity. Next is for each activity. I have already told you in previous lecture that you are using the purpose of for loop is same as that of the for each loop. Okay, in for loop you are iterating the elements of an array. The same thing you are doing over here. Activity is used to iterate over the array. It will pick up one name from the array each time until it reaches the end. Okay, this is the syntax, or you can say that this is what the snapshot of your for each activity. For each item in names, you can say that what is names? For each item in name, you can say that name is a particular chart, or you can say that it is a particular worksheet. Name is the worksheet. Item is the number of elements that are contained within that name. Body means you can write anything over here according to the situation. So what is it? Items is to be accessed or traversed or processed into the whole activities. This is about the for each activity. Next is break. Break means to use to break or stop the loop at a particular point, then continue to the next activity according to the situation or the requirement. It cannot be used for any another activity apart from the for each activity. It is useful when we want to break the loop to continue to the next activity in the for each activity. Okay, so in that case you simply say that the break activity is used to break, or you can say that this activity is used to stop the loop at a particular point. If you want to stop your automation at a particular moment of time, you can introduce the break activity in between. This is what the snapshots of your break activity. You are using the for each activity. This is the right line activity. Each and every item is to be processed while using the for each loop. Whatever the body will do doesn't matter. And finally, it will introduce the right line activity item dot toString. But in between, break will be introduced. That means at that particular moment of time, it will stop that particular activity. That is all about the break activity. And this is the reference section. Many times I have told you about these two books or this particular online material. You can go through these books. I will send the soft copy of these books to you. You can purchase these books from the market, and if you are not going to purchase, but in that case you can use the academy.uipath.com. Okay, you can also study this particular RPA from the Automation Anywhere. You can also use that particular platform also. Okay, till now we have already discussed everything in first 3 units. Again I am telling you, we have discussed in first unit, we have already discussed all the basics of RPA. I am not again counting you what topics we have already discussed, just telling you in unit first we have already completed all the basics of RPA. What is RPA, why we use RPA, and what are the various, you can say that, benefits of RPA, what we have already discussed in unit 1. In unit 2, first of all, we have learned about how to install the UiPath Studio Community Edition software in our system, and after that how it is to be installed, from where it is to be installed. After that we will start the activities. We will start the what are the various data types, what are the various panels, what are the variables or the arguments that we are used in this particular RPA. After that, in unit after that we have studied the control statements or the control structures. Okay, and finally this is the third unit where our basics has already been completed. In this particular unit, our basics says whatever the activities that we will or that we can introduce in our workflow, we have already completed each and every activities. Okay, whatsoever the process, whether it is to be related with a more complex process for a more or a large organization, doesn't matter. These all are the processes, any kind of the processes, these all are the, you can say that, activities that is to be involved to prepare, to design a workflow, or you can say that to automate a process. Okay, each and everything we have already designed or we have already studied till unit 3rd. Okay, this is all about the unit 3. It's up again, I am telling you, this particular subject is, you can say that, not a kind of theoretical subject until or unless you want practicing this particular thing, practicing these activities, how we can create the activity, how we can use the activities, and how we can use these activities into the workflow. Until or unless you simply say that you didn't get anything. If you are not not having the expertise in these things. Okay, it's my humble suggestion to all of you. Our 3 units has already been completed. You simply learn, you simply practice how we create, how we make, how we automate the process with the help of these activities. Okay, this all about the unit 3. If you have any doubt, if you want to ask anything till 3rd unit, you can ask me, you're most welcome. Okay, otherwise this is all about from my side for till 3rd unit. In 4th unit, more complex process will start. For example, data automation, PDF automation, email automation. Okay, this is all about what we have studied till now. Will apply the concept in unit 4 and unit 5. Okay, if you have any problem, you face any problem, you can call me, you can talk to me. Okay, this is all about from my side. Thank you so much.